Hi, Virgo. So I debated on whether I was actually going to do our reading today because I don't know with all of the good stuff that's coming in March if you'll actually believe it. It's February 19th, by the way. First day of Pisces season. Mercury retrograde happening directly across from you, us. And you know what's interesting is so many things are going to come out of this Mercury retrograde for you. But right now, because you feel paralyzed, it's very difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm actually sort of glad that I decided to do this today. It was a toss-up because I wasn't sure how anybody would react to good news at this point. So if this reading doesn't resonate with you today and you're watching it today, remind yourself to watch it again, like at the beginning of March, mid-March. If you're struggling right now and you need to have a little bit of hope towards the end of, in like a week or something, come back and watch it again then. So we have the Three of Wands and we have the World. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. There are some things that you are having to wrap up right now. There are some things in your journey, in your existence. And I know that you're really wanting that stuff out there, in the distance. The Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in. You can see the ships out there. You can see that they're on their way to you. You can see the horizon. You can see all of the things, right? And the ships, right, quote unquote, the ships, those are all the amazing seeds that you've been planting and all of the stuff that you've been waiting to show up in your life. But with the World, you also have to understand that one of the reasons why you're probably still sitting here and waiting for these ships to come in is because you do have some cycles that have to end as well with the World. You have to complete a few tasks. You have to complete a few things. But it's always nice to know that you're at the end of that. Even if you're feeling a little bit paralyzed right now, you're at the end of those cycles. You don't have to keep forcing yourself. You don't have to keep forcing yourself to do the most when you've already done everything that you can do. So then we have the Queen of Wands. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. And then we have the Ten of Wands. If it's not a fire sign, it's somebody who is fire dominant or very fire heavy. Somebody who is very confident by nature. And the Ten of Wands is a completion. The Ten of Wands is the burden that you have been carrying for so long. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So I'm using the Lightseers Tarot. Sorry, I just shook the table and everything. Using the Lightseers Tarot for this. So, and then we have the Knight of Wands. And maybe that's the burden. There's a lot of fire going on here. And so I know that that's exactly the feeling, right? There's that fire that's burning in your belly. And maybe you're the Queen of Wands. Maybe you are the one that has like your sights really, really set on something. If you're a fire rising or a fire moon sign, for sure. Definitely having your sights set on something. Okay. But you have decisions to make, which is another reason why you're probably sitting here in this Three of Wands, just waiting for the ships to come in, because you have to make certain decisions before the energy is going to shift. Things don't just manifest without your magic to manifest them, And so a lot of times when we're just sitting here and we're like waiting and waiting and waiting for a sign from the universe, just show me a sign, just show me a sign, just show me a sign. When we're doing that to ourselves and we're vacillating and juggling and not entirely sure of what to do, right? Knight of Wands and Two of Pentacles. I have all these decisions to make. I have all these things to do. Just choose one. You don't have to complete everything in one day. And if you're like me, making a list and then going like this to check things off the list. Do that. If you don't know where to start, let your intuition guide you. Just pick. Just choose. Because you're going to drive yourself crazy, Virgo. If you keep doing this Knight of Wands and Two of Pentacles vacillation back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. You're going to drive yourself crazy. And then you won't do anything. Because you'll get yourself so stuck into a mindset of, well, that's too much for me to deal with right now. That's a lot. A lot is what it is. Let's see what the Three of Wands is. What is it that you're waiting for? What is it that you want? I guarantee you this is something that you've been manifesting for a while. And maybe you're waiting for a particular person. Maybe you are confused about an air sign, or somebody who has a lot of air in their chart, or somebody who's just the strong silent type. They don't even have to have air in their chart. Maybe they're just very decisive. But with that Seven of Cups on the King of Swords, maybe you're waiting for somebody to show up and you're confused about that and you're not entirely sure. Now, the Seven of Cups, when it comes to like a relationship or another person, the Seven of Cups for me is mixed signals. And if you're waiting for someone who's giving you mixed signals where you can't really, or you're the one that's giving mixed signals to someone, mixed signals is an automatic no, Virgo. We're not doing, I don't know, in 2020. We're not doing that. I think I like you, but I'm not really sure. Don't play the games with your mind. Your mind's already playing games with you. Don't exacerbate it by forcing yourself to try and figure someone out who does not want to be figured out. If they wanted you to know, you would know. Here's the thing though. Allowing yourself to leave the things behind that you need to leave. Allowing yourself to close out cycles that you have outgrown. Allowing yourself to close out situations that you have outgrown is going to be so incredibly healing for you. You could also be dealing with a Leo energy that is healing for you with this Queen of Wands and the Sun. But I guarantee you, as you start to close the cycles in your life, as you start to close those life moments that there's really nothing else that you're going to be able to get out of it, those situations. Whether it's an environmental thing, whether it's a work thing, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, doesn't matter what it is. The more you allow yourself to say, okay, the life cycle of that situation is done, the more clarity you're going to be able to see in your journey. And the more clarity that you will be able to see about the people too. Sometimes hindsight is such a bitch, right? Hindsight being 2020, it's such a bitch. Because when we finally close out a cycle with a person and we look back on it and we go, oh, damn. Like, I really dealt with that all this time? That's crazy. Remember to forgive yourself. That's the healing. Forgive yourself for dealing with that whole time. Let's see what the Queen of Wands is for you. Deep breaths. There is a stability. Ooh, okay. If you're the Queen of Wands energy, which I sort of feel like most of you might be, if you're the Queen of Wands energy, you don't have to worry so much about financials as you think you do. That Eight of Swords, I mean, is it really a Virgo reading if we don't get the Eight of Swords? So the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords on the Queen of Wands. You know the Queen of Wands is a master manifester. And I've said that about Virgos as well for a very long time. And the reason why Virgos are master manifestors as well is because we can have a thought and we can bring it into reality, whether it's a good or a bad thought, we can have it and bring it into reality like that. And so that's why it's really, really important to not allow yourself to go down this road. Don't allow yourself to go down that mental imprisonment. Creating stories in your mind about the money, because that Ace of Pentacles is saying the universe has you taken care of. The funds are going to be fine. It's only in your mind. The fear is only in your mind. So let's see. And this 10 of Wands is also saying that you don't have to work so hard anymore. I know Virgos work themselves into the ground. Yes, but you don't have to. 9 of Wands on the 10 of Wands. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. And here's the thing, Virgo, is when we are beating our heads up against a brick wall over and over and over again, oh my God, when will it ever stop? When you're doing that, when you are constantly trying to force something to work, that's the burden. Just let it go. The closing of cycles and the release that's happening for you in March is huge. The only way that this is going to stop, these blessings are going to stop coming in. The only way these cycles ending and this healing that's happening, the only way that you can sabotage that is by creating your own resistance. Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles definitely go hand in hand, because I feel like there are some decisions that you need to make, and probably, oh yes, of course, and probably some either decisions you need to make about a Scorpio energy, or some decisions that you need to make about what it is that you need to change about your own self and the boundaries that you're creating. Here's the thing. You can create a wall, or you can create a healthy, loving boundary. You can create a wall around your heart because you've been hurt so many times before in the past. Or you can create healthy, loving boundaries and say, I love myself so much that I refuse to let anybody else hurt me. I refuse to let anybody else. And that means that you stop placing expectations on other people. And let's be honest, we are really good at putting expectations, not only on other people, but on ourselves. And that's why when we quote unquote fail, which it's not actually failure, but we think of it as failure, right? So that's why when we quote unquote fail, it's very easy to get trapped in that mindset and beat ourselves up over it. So I feel like that's sort of the change that's supposed to be happening for you with the Two of Wands and the Death card on the Knight of Wands. Just because you don't have all the answers, Virgo, doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. I know it feels like it. You don't always have to have the answers either. You know that, right? You don't have to be the smartest person in the room all the time. You can say the words, I don't know, and make it be okay by saying those words. And resting. Not forcing Four of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Ooh, I love that that just came out like that. We have 3 10s now. Completion, completion, completion. The world, completion. March is the month where you get to see your own vulnerability and your own progress and how far you've come. And just allowing yourself to do that. Virgos are going to make really big strides this year on creating that stability that they have been that we've all been craving for years. 2020 is going to be a year of creating stability, where in the last couple of years it's been, you know, the work. In order for you to stay sane and remain chill, which doesn't happen very often, but in order for you to do that, you have to let yourself say, I've done as much as I can. I can't do anything else in this situation. And then you have to remind yourself of where you're placing your energies and be honest about it. The Six of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. The Six of Pentacles is asking you, where are you placing your energy? Are you giving it to people, places, and things that are giving back to you? Or are you giving it to people, places, and things that are draining you? And if it's an air sign that's draining you and you're not entirely sure what to do with that air sign, then it's time to let that go. And be okay with letting it go. Okay? But this Four of Swords on the Ten of Swords is screaming at me. Do you know that your long-term stability and future already exists? And because it already exists, you're already manifesting it and you're already bringing it into fruition. You don't have to do the most anymore, and you can allow yourself to just let it go. Let it be. Okay? All right, you guys. I do want to tell you that I'm doing personal readings. Don't click off quite yet. I'm only doing personal readings through like the third week in March, and then I'm going to take a break for a while. The 30-minute personal readings are on sale right now. I also have one question readings available for only $30. That's like a 10-minute video. So, and those are done pretty quickly. So if you would like to get a reading done with me, I'm also doing astrology report readings and interpretation. So if you want to get any of that done, I suggest doing it now. Jess and I are scheduling for the first 2 weeks in March already. And literally that's like in a week and a half. So have a wonderful rest of your February. I know that Mercury retrograde is going to be a little bit difficult. And I know that the energy is a little bit heavy. But March and April, like Aries season, is going to bring so much of that abundance that you've been waiting for. So don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. I love you guys. If you need anything from me, you know where to catch me. Bye.